नमस्ते.
नमस्ते, नमस्सर्वेभ्यः. You can start in 1 minute, sir. We'll just wait for 1 minute.
Namo Namaha.
Lakshmi Nagesh is saying namaste.
Yeah. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste.
I think we can just start, sir. People will join in that time. Om Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadaram Dhyayeet Sarva Vignoopashantaye. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvebhyah Namaskaraha. Suswagatam. We have with us my Guru, Professor B. Mahadevan, with us. I will not get into too much of introduction and things. I'll do a Kiru Parichayam for the sake of Opacharika Parichayam Eva Dasyami. Tadanantaram we'll just have him to speak. So he is very familiar to all of us, but Professor Mahadevan is an alumnus of IIT Madras and currently on the board of governors there. And he's a professor of operations management at IIM Bangalore. And he was also the former dean at IIM Bangalore. And he has been on various committees, and he has also consulted for various companies. Apart from this, of course, something closest to his heart is Vedanta, Indian knowledge systems, and ancient Indian wisdom. In that context, he was the he served as the vice chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwavidyalaya, Samskrta Vishwavidyalaya for about 2 years. Recently, he has authored a book on Indian knowledge systems. This is one of the many books that he has authored, and this is one of the things that is going to be very required. So the format is simple. We'll have a talk for about 1 hour, 15 minutes, sir, and then we can have take some questions. So with this Kiru Parichayam, I'll just leave the stage to Professor Mahadevan, sir, to take over from this.
Namaste, Sarvebhyah Mama Namaskaraha Adau. Bhavantah Sarve Samskrita Krita Parishramaha Bahu Prayatnashilaha iti maya jnatam. Kechanaha idanim eva Samskrite pravesham kritavantah. Anye sarvaha bahu prayatnam kritavantah iti maya shrutam. Kartik मां किंचित गणस्य विषये सूचितवान्. महान् सन्तोषः. सर्वे संस्कृत भाषायां बहु विशेष प्रयत्नं कुर्वन्तः सन्ति. आसक्तिः अस्ति इति एषः विषयः महान् सन्तोषस्य विषयः. तस्मात् अद्य किंचित संस्कृतस्य वैशिष्ट्यं, what is something very special about Sanskrit, because you are all different stages learning Sanskrit. This is such a unique language. This is such a very special kind of language. So I thought I will take this opportunity to just share some of the very interesting aspects of Sanskrit language as I have understood for myself. So that is what I thought I will do today. So what let me do is let me just share a screen. Hopefully you will be able to see my screen.
You can.
So I am going to just share with you certain very nice things about Sanskrit. Some of it you might possibly know, some of it maybe you may not be aware, but nevertheless it is good to, since you are in different stages of going through the pleasure of learning this language, I thought kinchit Samskritasya bhashayaha vaisishtya vishaye kinchit pradarshayittum mama icha vartate tasmat kinchit tasmin vishaye aham adya bhashanam karishyami. Now, moment you say Sanskrit, the first thing we should know is Ashtadhyayi. That word we should know. Because Samskritam is because of Ashtadhyayi. So therefore, we should very, very quickly understand certain very special things about Ashtadhyayi. What is Ashtadhyayi? Ashtadhyayi is nothing but a set of 3,983 rules. Now today, if you have a computer program, some of the youngsters may know it. If you have a computer program, then there are some rules. So you have to follow the rules and write a program. And once you follow those rules and write the program, then the program will do what is intended. So this language is more or less like that. It has 3,983 rules. Sutras iti vayam vadamaha. Tatra vivida sutraha santi, panchada santi. You have Samjna Sutra, we have, Adesha Sutra, we have, like that, there are 5 different types of sutras are there. It is arranged in 8 chapters. That is why it is called Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayaha santi iti karanena Ashtadhyayi abhut. So it is called Ashtadhyayi because this entire 3,983 rules are actually listed in 8 chapters. Not only that, each chapter is divided into Chatwari Padaha, 4 padas. So totally we have 32 now. Because every chapter will have 4 padas and there are 8 chapters. Therefore, there are 32 padas. This is how Ashtadhyayi is. What is so beautiful about Sanskrit? See, if it is a modern language, then you should know the syntax. You should know the rules. They call it a syntax, right? You should know the rules. Only when you know the rules, you can actually make use of it. What Panini did 2,700 years back, he lived 2,500 years back. What he did was, he saw people were talking a language. And he developed some rules by which every word can be derived using those rules. So he did not force us to use a rule. He said, people are already speaking some language. I will try to create some rules. By using the rules, whatever they are speaking, you can get the same word. So he actually only put things in place. He did not create a new, like a computer language, he did not create a new structure and asked us, you have to use this. He saw what is happening and created a structure for it. So that is so special about, so it is the descriptive model. It described what he saw. He did not create a new, said, no, don't talk like this. From tomorrow, I have created 3,983 rules. Therefore, you have to use the rules and talk differently. He never did that. He described what he saw using 3,983. Nobody knows how he arrived at these 3,983 rules, which almost covered everything. So that is the first thing we have to understand. It is such a beautiful methodology of seeing a language being used and fitting it into 3,983 rules. This is the first thing we should know about Ashtadhyayi and Sanskrit. And there are very distinguishing, there are Paninyaha Vyakarane Kechana Vaisishtyaha Santi. There are very special things that we should actually know. That makes it Panini very special. First thing, any word in Sanskrit, you can bring any word in Sanskrit that can be, derived using these 3,983 rules, which means the entire vocabulary of Sanskrit language that you may be aware of can be created using these 3,983 rules. There are a few exceptions. I'm not saying it is 100%. It is 99.9%. Evam vaktum shaknumaha. shatam pratishatam kartum na shaknumah, parantu prayashah sarvam, almost everything can be derived. And these rules are easy to commit to the memory. I will show you one set from the second one chapter. I will show you how the rules look like. Just I will show you for your curiosity. And what does it mean? That means if somebody knows these 3,983 rules, if somebody committed the 383 rules to their memory, idi chintayantu. Kantastitim kritavantaha iti chintayantu. Yadi yeh kopi et sutran sarvan kantasthiti kurvanti, tarhi taihi bhashayaha nutana padasya nutana shabdasya nirmanam kartum avakashah asti. They become a walking dictionary of the language, because the language will come only out of those 3,983 rules. That is why in this country, when they go to the patashala, the first thing that they will do is in 3 months, the students will memorize all the 3,983 rules. In Chinmaya Vishwavidyapith, I did it. When I was the Vice Chancellor, for my BA Sanskrit, the first 6 months, they have to memorize all the 3,983 rules. That means the entire syntax is in the mind. Now I can do whatever I want to do with that. That is the specialty of Sanskrit language. No language has this kind of a compact structure. So what does it mean? That means if you apply the rules properly, it must result in a valid word. There can be nothing wrong. It's like, mathematics derivation. In mathematics, they do what is called derivation. They take an algebra, they keep on solving it, and finally you find a solution. And that's all. Once you find the solution, it is valid. In the same way, if you apply the rules, then whatever you get out of it must be a valid word.
Sir, just one thing. You're not showing the slideshow. It is only showing the first screen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I
will stop share and start again.
I think you need to share the slideshow, not the.
I will show screen share. I will do the screen share. Is it okay now?
Now it's okay. Yes. Now it's clear.
Okay. So let me very quickly, for the sake of continuity, as I told you, Ashtadhyayi is 8 chapters divided into 4 quarters, 32 of them. Dvatrimshat padaha santi ashtadhyayam tasmat ashtadhyayi iti namaha praptaha. And as I told you, it is the best available descriptive model of any language. It actually described what happened. It did not create a new rule. It described what happened. So there are only few exceptions. 99.9% any word in Sanskrit can be accommodated using these 3,983 rules. So if somebody can commit all these to their memory, they become a walking dictionary. Anything is possible. And if you apply a rule, if you apply the rule properly, Sutrasya prayogaha samyak bhavati iti vayam vaktum shaknumaha, tarhi tatra upayujyamanaha padam asmabihi prapyate eva. There can be a useful word which will come out of applying all the rules properly. No additional assumptions to derive any word. So this is like mathematics. This is exactly like mathematics. If you know how to derive, you can derive. Once you derive, you have got a final solution. And the final solution is a word. I will show an example. Then you will understand all these very well. So I will show you an example. Then kim bhavati iti idopi spashtata bhavati. Spashtam vayam jnatum shaknumaha. So this is from Prathama Adhyaya Dvitiya Pada. So this is how the all these sutras. For example, you see Vagamaha, Hanasich, Yamo Gandhane, Vibhashopayamane, Naktva Set, Achascha, Uchairudatah. The last sutra is Uchairudatah. So we first make the students memorize this. And there are so many nice things here. I'm not going to get into those details. You see some footnotes there, 1, 2, 3, 4 and all that. What it means is, if you take, for example, Iko Jal, the 9th sutra says Iko Jal, That eighth, if you look at the eighth footnote, what it says is sutra se ikaha ki anuvrittihi, it will go up to the 12th sutra. So in this ikaha jal, that ik will be applied up to 12, which means ik will apply in uscha, ik will apply in halantascha. He has a very, very compact way. I don't want to get into details, but what I am telling you is he has developed the rules in a very compact way. He says this rule, this part will apply up to this. This rule, this part will apply up to this. So when you derive, you should take all that and derive. Then you will get the proper word. So very compact fashion, he actually puts all the rules. I just wanted to show you a sample. This is the Dvitiya Padaha, Pratama Adhyayasya, Dvitiya Padasya, Pratama Ekonatrimshat Sutraha Atra Santi. First 29 sutras are there. Just I wanted to show you. And like this, there are 3,983 sutras, and our students will simply, memorize this. It takes only 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Morning, evening, you do Parayana, finished. The whole thing goes into them. At the age of 12, 15, it will go simply into their minds at no time. Then they are become Samskrita Pandits already in some ways. So, what did Panini do? He said any word can be derived in a step-by-step process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Finally, the word will come. And the entire vocabulary. Atra Kartikeya iti namah shruyate, Lakshmi Nagesha, everything can be derived. All the Meera Narayan, Sarvesham Padasya derivation can be done through this thing. And in order to derive a word, you need a root. See, the way Sanskrit works is you start with a root. And on the root, you attach what is called a suffix. And once you attach a suffix, then the rules will start modifying it. Finally, one word will come. Sometimes you can attach a prefix also. Not only suffix, prefix can be attached to a root, to a verbal root. So there are only two types of roots. A root which is a verb, which can generate a verb, or a root which can generate a noun. Dhatu pradipadikam iti vadanti. Nominal root is pradipadikam, whereas verbal root is called dhatu. So what we have to do is we have to derive a word. We have to take a root and start attaching something. Then step by step you derive everything. Final result is the word that you are looking for. That is how this language is. It's a very logical language. So what does it mean? What it means is today I can take a root. I can apply a set of rules, a prefix, a suffix I can attach, and I can attach a set of rules which will be applicable. I can formulate a new word, and that word is a valid Sanskrit word because it did not violate any of the rules. Tasmat, in Samskrita Bhashayam, Shabda Koshasya Avashyakata eva nasti. There is no notion of dictionary. The dictionary that you have is just a small subset, some popular words, because words can be manufactured from a root. You can take a root, attach something, apply the rules and get a new word, which is valid as per Panini. It cannot be nonsense. So dictionary is just a small set of convenient, frequently used words. Please understand that. If you have proficiency in Sanskrit, you can actually manufacture words, and which are correct, which are valid. So it also, Panini has developed a lot of structures, very interesting structures, which modern computer scientists are actually using. He did that and so beautifully used. I'm not going to get into all of them. I just wanted to just give you a flare of how special is this Sanskrit language. Now, the first thing that we need to understand is there's a way to learn Sanskrit very fast. What we need to do, Idi Asmabhi Samskrita Sambhashane Shibirani Ityadi Kartikeya Hapi Idanim Kurunta Hasti Tatra Etahayava Asmabhi Karaniyam Bhavati. We have to understand there are set patterns. Sanskrit is very rich in patterns. If you know one pattern, you can get 1,000 words out of it. Ekam udaranam dasyami. Tatra yatkimapi padam asti tasya antime da. Da asti iti chintayantu. Da means danam. Danam means give. So if you add a da to the end of a word, that has something to do with giving. Sukada. Sukada means the giver of joy. Jnanada. Jnanada means the giver of, jnana. Mokshada. Now you can manufacture words. It is not wrong. Jna means jnana. Kshetrajna. Kshetra kshetrajnayoho. Vishaya vishayinoho. Tama prakashavat. Viruddha swabhava. Jna. Whenever you add Brahma jna, Alpa jna. Alpa jna means he knows very little. Alpa plus jna. So like this, if you start seeing the patterns, you will actually dramatically improve your vocabulary. You will understand this language is full of patterns. So let me give you some basic examples. Let us take a dhatu kr. Kr is to do something to do with doing, no? Karma. Karoti. Kr is a dhatu. Dugrinj karane. That is the dhatu pata. The do and inj, you don't worry. That Panini is attaching those tags to do his calculations. The real dhatu is kr. Do and the inj is for some other reason. It is for processing. So the dhatu is kr. Similarly, you have a dhatu called pat. Pat is something to do with reading. Patane. You have gam gach, gamane. In the meaning of going. So I have taken three roots now. Kr, pat, gum and gach. Gum and gach are equivalent actually. Sometimes you have to use gum, sometimes you have to use gach. That's why gum gach. Now let us see the patterns. Karoti. Karoti means does. Then you will find patati, gachati. So the ending are all similar. It is a present continuous. I have taken three examples. You can create some 300 examples. Slight variations will be there, which you can find out. If you know. So karoti. If I know karoti, I should be able to say patati. I should be able to say gachati. I should be able to say pibati. I should be able to say rodati, kelati, kadati. All of them must be present tense. Right? Kurvan, patan, gachan. It is continuous. Kurvan asti means present continuous. Kurvan asit means past continuous. Kurvan bhavishyati means future continuous. So kurvan is a continuous tense. Is doing, was doing, will be doing, depending upon how we want to use. Now I can say patan, I can say gachan, I can say rodan, I can say kadan, I can say gayan. Anything I can say now, because this is the pattern now. It is a continuous tense. Usage will all be like this. Minor variations will be there that we can know as we go along. Look here, karta. Karta is doer. Patita is reader. Ganta is goer. Kadata is eater. So now I can do all that patterns now. If you know one pattern, I can more or less make sense of 2200 verbs can be now processed with slight modifications are there here and there in some of the ganas, but by and large, we will get to know what is happening. Atra pashyetu, kritva, it's called tvanta prayoga, having done, patitva, having read, gatva, having gone, agatya, having come. So if you know one pattern, you can now start getting some series of equivalent prayogas. Bahu sulabhataya etat uhitum asmakam avakashaha asti. Atra pashyatu, karotu, please do, patatu, please read, gachatu, please go, agachatu, please come. If you want to use such kind of patterns, tumanta prayoga. Everything is tu. Kartavyam, must do. Patitavyam, must read. Gantavyam, maya tatra gantavyam. Soha vivaha asti. Mama sahodarasya putriyaha vivaha asti. Maya gantavyam. Soha pariksha asti. Maya patitavyam. So the patterns are all similar now. Okay. Must do, must go, must read, must eat. Kaditavyam, maya kad bubuksha vartate, maya kaditavyam. So now you can create a whole lot of words like that. Kartum, this is tumanta prayoga. Kartum, to do, I want to do. Patitum, I want to read. Gantum, I want to go. Agantum, I want to come. Kelitum, I want to play. Roditum, I want to cry. So everything will have a similar pattern now. This language is like that. It has set patterns which contribute to 90% of the vocabulary. So one way to learn the language is to know the patterns. Once you know the pattern, there are some differences. Dashaganaha vartate, datavaha, dashaganaha vartante. There are 10 groups. So between groups, there are minor differences. So I'm not saying, but more or less you will know. You are almost there. Prayogena kinchit bedaha asmabihi jnatum shakyate. Tasmat tatra klesha eva nasti. Kritam, past, done. Patitam, read. Gatam, gone. All these are participle, past participle. So if you have to use it, then we have to use this structure. So all that I am telling you is yadi Samskrita bhashayaha kinchit asmabhi samyak jnatavyam tarhi tatra patterns katam asti iti sada asmabhi drishti gocharaha tatra gantavyam eva. Always you will try to understand what is the pattern here. I said da. Similarly, there is a dha. The Mahaprana dha. Dha means fold. Pancha dha means fivefold. Dvidha means twofold. Tridha means threefold. Ashtadha means eightfold. So if you want to say fold, you have to say dha. Like this, there are patterns. Once you know it, you can very quickly build your vocabulary. Samskrita bhashayaha avagamane mahan saukaryam bhavati. Vegena asmavi Samskrita bhashayam praveshaha kartum avakashaha labhyate. Anyway, so this is one. Then let me move on to the basic structure of how Sanskrit words are manufactured. Let us try to understand that. So you need a base first. Here is a base. Kr, pat, same example I have taken. This is a verbal base. Dhatu. Kr, pat and gach. I have just taken an example. You can take any number of examples like that. So you take a base and then you have to attach something. Whole world, world of Sanskrit is only this formula. Take a base, attach something to it. Once you attach something to it, some rules will fire. Apply the rule. Once the rule fires, some other rule will fire. Evameva tatra gamanam bhavati. Ante ekopi sutrasya upayogah kartum na shakyate. Tarhi antima padam asmabihi praptam iti jnasyate. That is how the whole language is actually. So kr plus tu is the suffix. And once you attach it, you get karotu. I mean, there are some rules will apply. You can modify it, apply the derivation and so on. Kr plus tu will become karotu. Pat plus tu will become patatu. Gach plus tu will become gachatu. And there is a, how does this transformation happen? That's where the rules will fire. Some rule will say, if it is like this, you have to do this. That if you memorize, we know where to look for, or even if you don't memorize, we know where to look for and take it and then apply it. This is a simple example, but I will show you the whole world of Sanskrit words, vocabulary, how does it come. Again, it's complex. I have simplified it. There are many more versions which I have not added to this. So you can start with the verbal root, kr, gach, pat, 2200 verbal roots are there. You can start with the verbal root, attach some suffix to it, right? You attach some suffix, just now I attached tu, kr plus tu I attached. Moment you attach a suffix, some rule will apply. You apply the rule and do the derivation, you may get a verb form, valid verb form. So that is a word. Karoti, karotu, kritva, kartum, kurvan. All these are valid words, but they belong to the world of action. Kriya sambandha vishayaha tasmat datavaha avashyakaha. From verbal root, you create all action-oriented words. There is another way. you can start with a noun root. You can take a root called Ram, and from Ram you can get Rama, you can get Rama also, depending upon whether you want Pullinga or Strilinga. You have to take a noun root, and then you have to attach a suffix. One of the suffix can be a gender suffix also. You can attach many suffixes, one after the other, and then apply the rule. For example, if you want Rama, you have to attach what is called top, because it is a Strilinga pratyaya. Suffix is called pratyaya. So you have to attach a Strilinga pratyaya to get Strilinga. Otherwise, Ram will result in Rama. If you want a Rama, you have to attach a Strilinga suffix additionally and convert the gender and apply the rule. Evam asti. You can do all that. You can get a noun form, a proper word. Lakshmi, Mahadevan, Karthik, all words can come out of it. Properly you can derive. Okay. Then many things are possible. You can take a verbal root, attach a suffix and convert it into a noun root. So from a verb, you can now go to a noun. How do we do it? We say cook. In English is very bad. Cook means verb. Cook also means noun. Because he cooks, in that sense, it is a verb. He is our cook. In that sense, it is a noun. Angla bhashayam bahu kleshaha vartate. Samskrita bhashayam kadapi na bhavishyati. Yadi you want a noun cook from a verb cook, you will use a suffix. You will say pachakaha. Pach means to cook. Pachakaha. Pachakaha is a person who is cooking. That cook. Cooker. Cooker means something else in English. That's a different problem. Evam bhavati tatra dhatavanam upayojena kinchit upasargaha tatra stapya, you can get a pradipadika, you can get a noun. From verb you can get a noun. And once you get a noun, you can get a Strilinga, Pullinga. I mean, you can keep on attaching. It is a modular design. It is called modular design. The moment you get something, you can attach what you want and you can get what you want. So, Pachakaha, Pachaki. For example, you want a Strilinga, you will attach a Strilinga pratyaya, it will take you to something else. That's how it is, That's why it says Buddhiman. It's called Mat pratyaya. Buddhiman, Pullinga. Buddhimati, the mat pratyaya with a feminine suffix will become Buddhimati. With a neuter gender, it will become Buddhimat. So there are gender suffixes are there. You can attach and then convert the word the way you want. It's all plug and play. You have to just plug and play. That is the structure Panini thought about 2700 years back. We are talking these words today. But he has constructed a language like that. Another possibility is there. You can take a noun form, attach another suffix to it and convert it into a verb. So look at how versatile it has become now. You can go from anywhere to anywhere. From a verb you can come to noun. From a noun you can go to verb. All those are possible. From nouns you can get certain other types of nouns. Taddita. There is something called taddita. For example, you say karunya. What is karunya? Karuna bhava is karunya. Karuna, one who has karuna, that is called karunya. That's called taddita. So from noun you can get another noun by using what is called taddita pratyaya. Right? Aishwarya. What is Aishwarya? Ishwara Sampat. One who has Ishwara Bhava is called Aishwarya. That is called Taddita. Okay. Lavanya. What is Lavanya? Lavanasya Bhavaha Lavanya. See, the life is in salt. You stop eating salt for 5 days, you know what I am saying. Your Lavanya will go. The life is in salt. So Lavanya is Lavanasya Bhavaha. Dasharathasya Apatyam Puman Dasharati. That is also a Taddita. So there are different ways of manufacturing endlessly words. I am not complicating it for you. Evame vaktum ichami tatra plug and play format asti. It's all modular design. You have to take what you want, attach what you want, and you will get what you want. That is how this language is. If people understand language like this, they will actually learn the language much faster. They will understand what is happening here much better. Anantaram kinchit agre gachamah. Ekshah udaharanah bhavati. Pashyitu atra nominal root. Ram. From Ram, you can get Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramai. All those you can get by attaching suffix. There is one suffix in chapter 4. Soja, Samo, Sashta, Byambis, Nye, Byambis, Nyasi, Byambis, Nyasosyam, no super. There is one 20, there are 73, 21 prefixes. The Vibhakti, for the Vibhakti, you have to attach any one of these 21. So you'll get Pratama Vibhakti, singular, dual, plural. Sauja, Samo, Sashta, Byambis, Nye, Byambis, Nyasi, Byambis, Gasosyam, no super. That is the sutra actually. So if you know how to take it out, you'll actually attach and get Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramai, everything will come. That's how it will come actually. Similarly, verbal root I already showed you. Patati, Patita, Patati, Patitaha, Patanti. All these we can get by apply. There are again 18 roots are there. 18 prefixes are there. Suffixes are there. So if you attach all that, it will come. Then you can do some more suffixes to get different types of past tense, present tense, etc. You can put additional suffixes for generating feminine and neutral and all that. So it's all plug and play. You take one and keep on adding and go where you want to go. This is the structure of the language. Tat spashtataya asmabhi jnatavyam. If you know this structure, you will start looking for this structure. Yadyapi ekopi tat fikshanam na dadati. Tomorrow when you start seeing your Sanskrit something, you will start seeing it for yourself. Oh, there is something happening here. You will find it. This is the structure of the language. So this rule based, let me demonstrate one to you. Then only you will understand the power of this language. Technically what it means, you can start with a verbal root or a nominal root. Keep on searching, is there any rule which will apply? If some rule will apply, the rule will say what to do. Do that. After do it, again go and search. See if any other rule will apply. If some other rule will apply, apply that. Then the word will change further. Like that, this is the method. Finally, it will stop because no more rules will apply. It will stop. So it will perform the operation. Procedure will stop when none of the rules can be applied. You may think I am giving you a class on computer programming because that is what Sanskrit language is all about. It's all like computer programming. The result is the final word. Okay. Look at here. You read, I'm giving you a flow chart now. How to manufacture Sanskrit words. This is a flow chart. Okay. Read inputs. Take some Ram, Rama, something you take. And then find out what is to be done. Take the first rule. Is the rule greater than 3083? Which means have we reached the end of the rules? Yes, that means over. Nothing is possible. No. Then read the sutra for that rule. If it is 475th sutra, rule I equal to 475, read the 475th sutra. Okay? And see is the sutra applicable. If the sutra is applicable, change it. If it is not applicable, go back. That's all. Go to the next 476 sutra, then 477 sutra, like that, up to 3083 you go. If it is applicable, do whatever changes it is telling. Because sutras are instructions. Kim karaniyam iti spashtataya tatra instruction vartate. Tasmat sutre kim uktam asti tat asmavihi karaniyam. If it is applicable. Do it. Once you do it, go back to the top of the list. Again, start searching. Is there any other rule which will apply now? If nothing applies, finally get out. And that is a valid word. So this is a flow chart for Sanskrit language. For generating a word. Now I will show you one specific example. Instead of all these flow chart, I'll actually show you how I would have derived one word. Let us take the root Rama, which is a noun root. And I want to get the third, Tritiya Vibhakti, Pratama Vachanam. Pratama Vachanam, Ramena. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Ramana, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. The question is, how will I get Ramena? The rule will tell me how to get it. I don't have to know. You can derive from the first principles instead of memorizing. How will it work? Let us see how it works. Noun root is equal to Rama. As you go in chapter 4, quarter 1, the first quarter, Pratama Pada, In that, the Dvitiya Sutra is what I just now told. Sauja Samo, Sashtabhyambis, Nyebhyambis, Nyasibhyambis, Nyasosam, Nyosup. In that, the one that I have to use is Ta. The Ta will come from that. Oh, you want a third case, if you want a third case singular, use Ta. That is what that rule is saying. So now I have to say Rama plus Ta. I have now moved one step forward. Rama plus Ta. That is where I have now reached. Because the rule told me to do it. Right? Rama plus Ta. Now what do I do now? If I keep on scanning, 7th chapter, 1st quarter, 12th rule will apply. And what is it saying in Ashtadhyayi? This rule provides certain conditions for replacing Ta with some other thing, which becomes applicable here. As per this rule, Ta will be replaced by In. That is what that rule is saying. So now it will become Rama plus In. Now we have moved one step forward. It has become Rama plus In. At this stage, chapter 6, 1st quarter, 87th rule will fire. And what is that rule saying? It says, provides conditions for combining two aksharas side by side, sandhi rules actually. So what it's saying, I is followed by E, Gunasandhi. It is called Gunasandhi. If I is followed by E, it says, please replace it with A. So now Rama has A at the end. In has E at the beginning. So the A and E will become Rame. So that is what this rule is applying now. Okay. So now I have reached to the next level. Rame plus Na. The E and A will become A actually. So Rame, the remaining is Na. Okay. Ina. In the Ina, Na is remaining. Now chapter 8, 4th quarter, 2nd rule will fire now. And what is it saying? It's saying there are actually first 39 rules are there in the 4th pada of 8th chapter. The first 39 rules are about when Rashabhyam Nona Samana Pada. It starts like that. When Ra and Sha are there, when should you change Na to Na? There are 39 rules available. So this particular rule too actually fires here. It says, please replace Na with Na. Because there is a Ra there. In Rama, there is a Rakara, no? So, Rashabhyam Nona Samana Pade, that is 8.4.1. After that, there are 38 conditions as to when to use it. In that, the condition 2 fires here actually. So, now what happens? The Na will be replaced, In will be replaced by In. So, it becomes Rame plus Na. Now, no more rules apply. So, the algorithm comes to a grinding halt. Therefore, the Tritiya Vibhakti is Ramena. Nothing else is possible now. None of the 3983 rules will fire anymore. Tasmat Padasya Nirmanam Samaptam. Look at how logical this language is. It is not, arbitrarily telling you words. There is a nice way from Ashtadhyayi you can actually derive. Every word in Sanskrit can be derived like this. That is the charm of Sanskrit. That is something which was done 2700 years back. A computerized kind of a methodology was done 2700 years back. So this is how Ramayana will come. If you read Ashtadhyayi, they will teach you how many of these rules get fired, how to use these rules. That's what the Vyakarna lesson is. Yatra kutrapi gatva vayam Vyakarna adhyayanam kurmah. Tateva te patayanti. Ashtadhyayah sutrasya upyogah katam karaniyam. Ityeva asmakam sikshanam dadati. Tasmat vayam Samskrta panditaha bhavemaha. Because the language is like that. It is a very structured language. Once we know all the rules, we know the language. So that is what it is. One more example I'll show you. This is a pada from Dakshinamurti Stotra. It's a single word, by the way. It's not different words. It's a single word. Nana Chitra Gadodarastita Mahadevan Prabha Bhaswaram. It's a single word. This word is made of 8 words actually. It is not a single word. It is, in a train, they attach compartments. You have 24 coaches, you have 12 coaches, you have 18 coaches. Here, this train has 8 coaches put together to form one single word. Okay. These are the 8 words. Nana Chidra is one word. Gata is another word. Udara is another word. Stita is another word. Maha is another word. Deepa is another word. Prabha is another word. Baswara is another word. Now there is a methodology Panini has given in which there is a way to put all of them into a single word. And Sanskrit is full of such words. Huh? Therefore, why I am saying this? Dictionary is of no use for you. Because these words will not be in the dictionary. We should know how this is constructed. For example, Lalita Sahasranama ekam maya tatra swikritam asti. Pashyantu samsarapanga nirmagna samuddarana pandita. Panchapadaha santi tatra. Samsara is ekam padam. Panka is dvitiyam padam. Nirmagna is tritiyam padam. Samuddarana is chaturtha padam. Pandita is the Pandita tasya strilinga. Pandita. Pandita is the noun root. Tasya strilingam Pandita bhavati. If this Sahasranama is for Vishnu, it would have become Pandita. Samsara, Panga, Nirmagna, Samuddarana, Pandita. It will become. Now you would have added another Upasarga, added another Pratyaya for Strilinga and make it Pandita. This is how the language is. Okay. Now this is how it is manufactured. First, Nana Chidra and Gata will be taken and they will be attached. It will become Nana Chitra Gata. This is the first step. So it is like, attaching the first coach to the engine. In train they do it. It is like that. You have taken Nana Chidra and attached Gata to it. The Gataha will become Gata. It will go to the noun root. Gataha is final word. Gata is the root. So you have to only take the roots and attach. Now, Nana Chitra Gata and Udaraha the Udara will get attached. So now it will become Nana Chitra Gatodara. Because Gata plus Udara, again Gunasandhi will come. A and U will become O. That's a Gunasandhi. All those rules would have fired actually when you actually derive it. Then Nana Chitra Gatodare plus Stitaha will become Nana Chitra Gadodara Stita. The Udare will become Udara. That is, Udare is a Sashti. Saptami Vibhakti. Now you will remove all the Vibhakti and get only the noun root and attach. So Nana Chitra Gadodara Stita. That is the next coach attached. Then the rule will say Mahancha Aso Deepascha Mahadeepaha. Is another subroot in which two words are attached to become Mahadeepaha. Now that Mahadeepa will be attached to this fellow now. Nana Chitra Gadodara Stitaha plus Mahadeepaha is equal to Nana Chitra Gadodara Stita Mahadeepa. So another coach is now attached. Then to this Prabha is attached now. So it becomes the next one. Then to this is attached the Baswara. Then what you get is Nana Chitra Gadodara Stita Mahadeepa Prabha Baswara. Now with that you can do Pullinga, you can do Strilinga, you can do Napumsakali, whatever you want to do, you can do. This is only a base. Please understand, this is only a base. It is a nominal root. Now this root can be now converted into anything. In this case, it is for Dakshinamurti, so it will be a Pullinga. Therefore, it will become Prabha Baswaraha. Then Dvitiya Vibhakti, Baswaram. Or Ramaha, Ramam, like that. Anything can be done with that. Once you get the nominal root, you can apply any rule on the top of it. That makes the whole language very versatile. You want to do it Dvitiya Vibhakti, Baswaram. So this is how words are, and many words are manufactured like this in Sanskrit. They are not simply told by somebody. There is a structure. Tat upayujya kramena asmabihi yat kimapi padam bhavatu tasya nirmanam kartum avakashaha asti. Tasya avagamanartam api avakashaha asti. If you know this structure. I will leave all these. I will go to another interesting part of Sanskrit. With that structure also you should know. Pashyantu atra. I will take an English word. The fat boy eats the tasty food with the hand. Iti ekam Angila bhashayam ekam vakyam asti. Vayam sarve janimah. Lagu vakyam. Now you just see what is happening. The fat boy eats the tasty food with the hand. The fat hand eats the tasty food with the boy. The fat food eats the tasty hand with the boy. The food tasty eats the fat hand with the boy. The tasty boy eats the fat food with the hand. Sarvam nasham abhut. Pratamam vakyam samichanam asti. Avasishtam vakya chatushtayam sarvanasham abhut. This is the situation in English. Etasya vakyasya Samskrita anuvadam vayam kurmah idanim. And kim bhavati iti pashyamah. Stulaha balakaha, fat boy. Stulaka balakaha ityukte fat boy. Swadu bhojanam, tasty. Swadu means tasty. Bhojanam is food. Swadu bhojanam hastena kadati. By hand. Eats. So I have now translated the English sentence into Samskritasan. Vakyam. Atra pashyatu. Stulaha balakaha swadu bhojanam hastena kadati. Stulaha hastena kadati swadu bhojanam balaka. If you change the order, the meaning will not change at all. This is something very peculiar to Sanskrit and Indian languages, because all Indian languages came out of Sanskrit. Yatra kutrapi padasya anyata sthapayantu vakyasya arte kadapi parivartanam na bhavishyati. Yet kimapi vakyam svikurvantu. Atra pashyantu, antimam vakyam pashyantu. Swadu balakaha kadati stulaha bhojanam hasti. You may ask why it is not changing. Because in Sanskrit what will happen is the vibhakti, gender and number will always be in agreement. So moment you say balakaha, the stulaha will automatically attach to the balakaha. Pratama vibhakti pullinga. Yatra kutrapi pratama vibhakti pullinga asti sarvam upayujya asmabhi jnatavyam. That is the basic idea of the word. So stulaha yatra kutrapi vayam sthapitum shaknumaha. Kimartukte balakaha asti iti karanena stulaha balakena eva samyojaha bhavati. Always first Tritiya vibhakti will go with Tritiya vibhakti. Dvitiya vibhakti will go with Dvitiya vibhakti. Gender, case, number. All the three are tightly aligned. So it will automatically attach. Nothing will happen even if you keep it elsewhere. Now, how is it possible and why is this structure very important? Atra pashyantu. We will take a word, a verb, kriyapadam, upakaroti. Apakaroti, not upakaroti, apakaroti. Apa means dure, removes. Apakaroti is the verb. See, this is the way I want all of you to learn any shloka. Even Shankara Bhashya you will understand. Yatkimapi Samskrita shlokaha bhavanti tatra kutra kriyapadam asti iti anveshayantu. Find out where is the kriyapada. Why is it important? Because moment you have a kriyapada, you can ask 8 questions, 7, 8 different questions. Let me ask those questions. Removes. Moment you say removes, I will ask who is removing? Who removes? Yantrakarakaha apakaroti. It's a valid sentence. Technician is removing. It is called karta. In Sanskrit, it is called karta. Karta will be always Pratama Vibhakti in active voice. In passive voice, it will come to the Tritiya Vibhakti. But in active voice, it is always Pratama Vibhakti. Who? We will ask who removes. Then we may ask what is being removed. Correct? Atra pashyantu. Yantrakarakaha yantram apakaroti. So that is called object or karman. Karma. It's always in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Karma is always in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Anantram. Then we will ask, using what? called Sadhakatamam Karanam. That is the Panini Sutra. Vahanena, with the help of a truck. That is called Karana. Anything which makes the job easier is called Karana. It is always in Tritiya Vibhakti. Karana. Stulaha balakaha hastena kadati. The act of eating is facilitated by the hand. Therefore, the hand must be in Tritiya Vibhakti. Hastena kadati. Any kriya which is improvised, any kriya which is made better, that fellow will be always in Tritiya Vibhakti because that is a Karana. Okay, so we'll ask using what? Then we may ask for what? Yantra karakaha yantram vahanena danaya apakaroti, for the purpose of giving. It's called sampradana. Giving will be always in fourth Chaturthi Vibhakti. Then we can ask, from where? From where is he giving? Yantra karakaha yantram vahanena danaya karyalayat apakaroti. From the office he removes. And apadana will be always in fifth case, Panchami Vibhakti. So, Karyalayat apakaroti. Then we may ask, what is the context? Meaning, was it done in the evening or morning? Was it done in Chennai or done in Bombay? It's called context, right? What is the platform on which all these are happening? That question. It is called Adhikarana. The entire event is happening somewhere. It will be always Saptami Vibhakti. Because this structure is there, wherever you put the word, the meaning will not change. That's why you can put the word wherever you want. Meaning will not change. Pashyantu atra sampurnam vakyam asmavihi praptam. Yantra karakaha yantram vahanena danaya karyalayat pratakale apakaroti. Now there is one Sashti Vibhakti. This Sashti Vibhakti will never attach to the Kriya. All these fellows are directly attached to the Kriya. Look at here. All these fellows are directly attached to the Kriya. Sashti Vibhakti will never attach to the Kriya. Sashti Vibhakti will only attach to any one of these 6 fellows. We have to understand that. For example, we can ask whose. The whose can be whose mission, in which case it will attach to Karman. If the whose is Vahana, it will attach to the Tritiya Vibhakti. If the whose is Dhanaya, for whom, then it will attach there. If it is whose office, it will attach here. If we, so like that. So Shashti Vibhakti will never directly connect to the Kriya. It will only connect to the others. Yadi bhavantah etat structure jananti, tarhi ekam shlokam asti. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Bhavati. Bhavati is the verb. Then we'll ask, what is bhavati? Glanihi bhavati. Kasya glanihi bhavati. Dharmasya glanihi bhavati. Kada bhavati. Yada bhavati tada. So you can pull the mouse by the tail. Iti Angila Bhashayam vadanti. Evam pratyekam Samskrita vakyam shlokam bhavatu. Kriya padam kutra asti iti pashyantu. Kriya padam swikurvantu. Anantaram prichantu. Kena kritam, kimartam kritam, kasya kritam, kada kritam, kutra kritam. Evam idi prashnaha bhavantah utpadeyanti shlokasya sampurna avagamanam bhavishyati. You will learn Sanskrit by yourself if you take this approach. Always look for a verb and try to connect everything with the verb, because everything has to be connected to the verb. If there is no verb, there is no language. If the whole world is in coma, why do you need a language? Bhashayaha avashyakata eva nasti. Moment both of us are alive, we'll ask, what did you eat, where do you go, when did you come, what are you going to do? Something will start, no? So, kriya bina bhashayaha avashyakata eva nasti. Tasmat, yadi kriya padasya anveshanam asmabihi samyak kriyate, tena dwara bhashayaha avagamanam sulabadaya kartum shakyate. That is called karakas. So if you know the karakas, only way you know a sentence is to get the karakas. There are Shad karakas are there. Sashti Vibhakti is not a karaka because it is not connected to any of the kriya. Karaka is one which is connected to a kriya. Okay, I think I'll stop here. I can keep on going, but I just wanted to, give a quick sense of a few things. Only the prefix part I will tell you. I'll show you an example. Then you know the power of prefix. Samskrita's power is in prefix. I have taken the kri dhatu. For again an example, I have taken the kri dhatu. Okay, you can say karoti. Karoti means he does. We all know that. Karoti means he does. Now, for only the verbs, you can attach a prefix. You cannot attach a prefix to a noun. You can attach a prefix only to a verb form. Okay. Now, let us start attaching some prefixes. You see how the word beautifully moves. The meaning goes all over the place. Apakaroti. Just now I showed you. Apakaroti means move it away. Take it away. That is called apakaroti. When a moment you put apa, it means going away. You can say upakaroti. That means bring it near. That's why it's called upakara. Upakara means what? What I am doing, you are making it easier for me. The result is brought near to me. That's why it's called upakara. Upakaroti means bring it closer. Upa always means closer. That's why upanayanam. This is called upanayana. The glass is called upanayana. Upanetram, not upanayana, upanetram. Upanayana is, take the child closer to the God. That's why it's called Upanayana ceremony. Today we do it for all kinds of different reasons. Upanayana is to lead the child closer to the God. Because Upa means closer, Nayana means lead. Then, Ut karoti. Ut means up. So if you want to lift, you can say Ut karoti. You can attach that suffix. Prakaroti. Right? Pra means prakrishena. Prakrishtena. Additional effort. Visesha. Prajnana. That's why you say jnana and prajnana. Prakrishtena. It's called pra. Pratikaroti. Return, opposite. You did and I do. Prati. Prati means tit for tat kind of a thing. I mean opposite. The direction is reversed. Prati. Gamanam, pratigamanam. Gamanam means going. Pratigamanam means going back. Means opposite. Then you can attach any number of suffixes also one after the other. Prati and upa. So I return the help to you. Upakaroti is help. Prati is opposite. Pratyupakaroti. So you can attach more suffixes also to increase the power. Pratyupakaroti. Anukaroti. Anu means follow. I copy what you do. You did something, I have copied it simply. So that is called anukaroti. Anu means follows. Whenever you want to say follow, you have to use anu. Anukaroti. Samskroti. Make it better cleaning. I mean, in this sense, samskara means clean. Samskroti means he cleans. That's why we talk about our samskaras. It should be refined. Vyakaroti. Then you have what is called nirakaroti. Nira means disagree or opposite. Nir akaroti, nirakaroti. Adhikaroti. Adi means, that's why it's called adhikari. Means the work, the substratum of that work is with him. Adi means substratum. So that's why adhikari. Adhikari is a fellow who is the substratum of that work. He is the one who decides everything about the work. Adi means substratum. So like this, bahavaha santi samayasya abhavat atra aham adhikam na vaktum na ichchami. Samskrita bhashaya is full of patterns, full of structure, full of logic. If we begin to understand even the slightest tip of the iceberg, our journey in Sanskrit will become much faster. We will learn the language much faster. You will start seeing, and nobody has to teach you. You will start seeing a lot of patterns and the vocabulary will build like anything. Etat vishayam vaktum mama icha asit tasmat kinchit samayam swikritya yata Kartik mam pratitvan kinchit bhavantaka sarve samskrita adhyanam kurvanti iti karanena samskritasya vaisishtyam samskrita bhashayaha विशेष अंशाः ये सन्ति इति यदि वयं जानीमः तर्हि अस्माकं संस्कृतभाषाप्रवेशे इतोपि सौलभ्यम् अधिकं भवति इति उद्देश्य किञ्चित् वक्तुम् इष्टवान् तदेव मया कृतमस्ति धन्यवादाः अत्र मम भाषणं समापयामि प्रश्नोत्तरसमयः धन्यवादाः
So can you please I think if you can raise your hand that will be good. Just I can then spotlight you and then probably yes Sunil Kumar please you can I'll just spotlight you so that you can ask the question. Yeah. Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Namo Nama, am I audible? Sir?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. My question is, there is often mention of this one research paper which said Sanskrit is the most appropriate language for computing. But from other sources, I have read that this is not so. Other ancient languages also have richness, but say not to the extent Sanskrit has. And it was a great repository of our tradition. So what is your opinion, sir?
Yeah, first of all, let us not compare whether this is better, that is better. I don't think we should do it. And I'm also not interested in that. But the fact that, I have just given you a little sense of the language. So what you would have realized by now, see, in natural language processing, when computer has to process language, okay, then it needs less ambiguity. There is a big process called disambiguation. See, if you say go in English has 38 meaning. The going is not good. I did it in one go. He is going to Madras. Like that, there are 38 different meanings for go. Now, if the computer encounters a word go, then the question is, how will it disambiguate? Which of these particular different meanings it will take? This is the central issue in natural language processing. This is the central issue. I want you to understand this. So these disambiguation possibilities are very high in Panini's structure. The chances that we will misfire is less compared to many of the languages. So that is perhaps what is being intended. There is a lot of work which has gone in AI and machine learning and artificial intelligence that we are talking about today. People are increasingly finding that the syntactic structure of Sanskrit seems to be much, much easier to code and then make use of. That is what it is. The level of disambiguity is the biggest challenge, actually.
So, Lavanya had a comment. Lavanya Madhya, can you speak on it? I think it will take the discussion a little further on what is the kind of work.
I was just writing a comment over there to say that because it is so structured, it is easier to build a tool where we can put in the dhatu and then we can derive how many possible words that come out of it using whatever sutra, if not already done. So I was saying it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, so in natural language processing, one of the requirement is word generator also. You should have an efficient word generator because as situations evolve, in fact, currently there are some people from MIT who are also in touch with me. They want to create a complete vocabulary of current engineering and computer-based terminologies in Sanskrit. And they have doing some work. So I connected them to a few people. And so all those are much easier in Sanskrit because there is a rule, there is a way you can construct and then come with, creating those new words and so on. You're right. That's why this language seems to have that natural structure there.
Yeah. So Sharad, yes, this is on YouTube and we'll be posting it on YouTube. So that is the short answer to the question. Yeah, this session will be there. Any other questions? Anybody? Yes, Shankar Mahadevan.
With your permission, Mahadev, would you be able to just show that slide where you derived Ramayana?
Yes, 1 minute.
Because my doubt may be very, very fundamental, if you don't mind.
I will go there. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute.
See,
yes.
Here, the step 1 here is where you are applying rule number 4.1.2 as per Ashtadhyayi, which says ta. Now, I'm sorry, I'm very fundamental here. How does one know that one has to apply rule number 4.1.2 and so on?
So, the 4th chapter, Prathama Pada, is all about generating the vibhaktis.
Okay.
See, if you don't know what is the different sections of Income Tax Act 1961, you can't do anything about it.
Right, okay.
So I should know what is 80G, I should know what is 80GG and so on.
Okay, so one has to first...
Yes, that is what, when we learn Ashtadhyayi, न केवलं कण्ठस्थितिं वयं कुर्मः, वयम् अस्माभिः एतदपि ज्ञातुं शक्यते अत्र, because these adhyayas, for example, the adhyaya 2, 3, 4 are all about a certain kind of a structure and so on. So that we will anyway get to know.
Okay, so one has to learn Ashtadhyayi itself, understand the Ashtadhyayi itself first. Okay.
Or if you are unable to understand Ashtadhyayi, we should have Ashtadhyayi and we should know where to locate it. See, I don't know the entire Income Tax Act 1960, but I keep referring to it. I know where to look for and take a little more time, but I get to where I want to go.
Okay. Understood. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions that are there?
Sir, this is
one question.
Nisha Mahodaya, yes. After that, Narayan Mahodaya can ask.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to know that, basically reading and I'm getting to understand Sanskrit by reciting some shlokas or following this. I'm able to understand, but I get stuck on spoken Sanskrit or how to start talking. It is a hurdle for me. If you have any suggestions or any tools that can, help us to.
So the best way to start learning how to speak Sanskrit is actually to start speaking Sanskrit. For that, you need somebody with whom you can speak in Sanskrit. For example, both of us may not know Sanskrit, but both of us may have a genuine interest to learn speaking Sanskrit. It will be a matter of time before we actually get proficiency. No, that is on lighter side, but more importantly, अत्र संस्कृत भारती जनैः अत्र रामकुमार महोदय अस्ति, तस्य पत्नीं यदि भवन्तः प्रार्थयन्ति for this group, she will do a 10-day spoken Sanskrit if it is required. Kinchit we can start. See, we can kickstart with something. After that, kinchit abhyasah avashyakah. Vina abhyasam kimapi kartum na shaknumah. But that initial starting can happen through a structured 10-day or a 15-day kind of every day 2 hours, something like that. That will really put us onto the track actually. Then we have to, for the next 3-4 months, very diligently we should, when I was in IIT Madras doing PhD, I learned Sanskrit at that time. That's when I learned Sanskrit. I will go to the mess and I will, talk to people in Sanskrit. All kinds of nonsense was going on at that time. I go to the beach in Elliot's beach and speak in Sanskrit and all that. Because otherwise I thought I will miss all of them. Tateva avashyakam bhavati.
Yeah, so where I'm coming from is, earlier I was not knowing Kannada or Tamil, but I learned to speak these languages. But yeah, same way I thought there needs to be some effort to start talking.
Kinchit prayatnaha avashyakah. In fact, the only way you'll improve any language is actually by talking, because that dramatically improves your vocabulary and your retention and all that.
Thank you.
So, अत्र रामकुमार महोदयः प्रति शनिवासर सायंकाले एकं संभाषणवर्गं करिष्यति. So probably if you want to just talk a little about it, Mahodaya, maybe there will be people who will want to join you.
भवती प्रतिवारं शनिवारे संस्कृत संभाषणकक्षं वर्गं चालयति. मम पत्नी द्वारा और एक youngster, Yadu Kishoram Namakaha, 35 years. Both are doing this very effectively. In fact, they are having a Sanskrit newspaper daily in their house, and he plays with the child also in Sanskrit. So we try to speak in Sanskrit, whatever it is, 1 hour per week. Something, the group of people will try and talk in Sanskrit and slowly improve. Suddenly, Mahadevan Mahadev, in front of him, I couldn't speak anything, but a little bit improved. We can speak. So that way, simultaneously, we can develop. So you are welcome, madam, that you want to join.
So please contact me, share his contact details with anybody who wants to join.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Narayan Mahodaya, you had a question.
Yeah, I got one question, fundamental only. In my childhood, for the meaning not seen elsewhere, a word we use is ananyadrisham. Ananyadrisham. But nowadays it is changed, it has gone, all are using anyadrisham. Anya plus adrisham, like that, which is correct. In my childhood, university,
Ananyadrisham is only correct. I will tell you why. See, Ananyadrisham is only correct. What you are using in your childhood is the correct.
Anya adrisham, like that it is cannot be the Anya adrisham also cannot be. In that way, what people are using now. Even scholars.
Okay. Ananyadrisham, right. Ananyadrisham is a single word. Anyadrisham is a 2-word. That is the difference. If you want a single word, you have to use what is called nanj tat. It's a tatpurusha samasa. Nanj tatpurusha. See, na plus dharmaha, adharmaha. Na dharmaha is 2 words. Adharma is a single word. So it's a samasa. Just like Nana Chitra Gadodarsita Mahadevan Prabhavasura. If you want a samasa prayoga, ananya drishya. Anya drishya is a padadvayam asti. Samasta padam na. Ekam padam na. Padadvayam asti.
I think with this we can stop the session. If there is one more question we can take, otherwise we'll just stop the session. Thank you. Meeraji, you have a question?
Na Mahodaya. एक युवकः प्रज्वलः नाम सः टेलिग्राम चैनल द्वारा मध्ये प्रतिदिनं सम्भाषणवर्गं चालितवान् 8:30 तः 10 पर्यन्तं नववादनतः आम् टेलिग्राम लिंक प्रेषयामि धन्यवादः महोदय
बहु प्रयत्नाः प्रचलन्ति यदि वयं संस्कृत भाषण कौशलं प्राप्तुं केवलं यत् आवश्यकम् अस्माकम् इच्छा एव आवश्यकम् अवशिष्टं सर्वम् अस्ति यदि वयम् अन्वेषणं कुर्मः यावत् आवश्यकं तावत् प्राप्तुम् इदानीम् अवकाशः अस्ति 30 वर्षेभ्यः पूर्वं परिस्थितिः एषा न आसीत् इदानीन्तन परिस्थितिः एषा अस्ति केवलम् अस्माभिः प्रेरणा आनेतव्या सामर्थ्यस्य विषये अन्य अवशिष्ट सामग्र्याः यावत् आवश्यकं तावत् सुलभतया जालपुटद्वारा प्राप्तुं शक्यते एव
सत्यं महोदय धन्यवादः बहु सम्यक् पठनं कृतवान् भवान्
Mahoday, Kshamyatam, can I ask one last question? Just a thought.
Please yes.
Ask. So beyond understanding shlokas that we learn, that we chant every day, what is the real need for Samskritam? What is your opinion about it? What do you think? Why do we need Samskritam? Because any Samanya person like me would say, I want to understand what shloka I'm saying, chanting. I want to understand the shlokas that my husband or my child is chanting every day. Beyond that, beyond Vedas, why do we need Sanskrit?
Okay, I don't know what you need beyond Vedas, but anyway, I'll come to it.
No, I didn't mean beyond Vedas. I meant beyond shlokas. Sorry.
Yeah. So, see, about 2 things. Yaska in 2,700 years back, he wrote what is called Nirukta, one of the Nigantu. He wrote a commentary on Nigantu called Nirukta, in which there is a shloka. He says, if you don't understand the meaning of something, and if you start using it for whatever, it is like carrying a huge load on your back without knowing what for it is. Tasya prayojanam kasya ityapi aham na janami. Kimartam etat lagu bharam mama puratah asti ityapi. Like that, he gave an example. So the first thing is, moment we are able to understand the meanings, not even shloka, forget about shloka. Moment we understand the meaning of something, the quality of our effort in engaging with that will dramatically increase by orders of magnitude. That's the first thing. The quality of effort, not quantity, quality. The quality of effort would be dramatically better. We get very engaged. We get very thoughtful of what is happening. All that will happen. That is for one thing. But if you want other benefits, mama swa abhiprayane sarvam aham kathayitum ishami. See, Sanskrit language, the greatest charm of Sanskrit language is it provides a structure to our thinking. It actually provides a structure to our thinking. Ekam udaharanam dasyami. There are two verbs for seeing. Lochru and lokru. There are two dhatus. Lochru darshane. Lokru darshane. Okay. In fact, in my book on chapter 5, I have written, I think I removed it after that. I wrote about it, I removed it. Now, Lochru also is darshane. Lokru is also darshane. Lochana is eye. Loka is the world. Okay. Now, these different verbs create a different understanding of many of the realities that we face. Alokayati. Alokayati means he sees. Lochana is the instrument for seeing. Okay. So, Lokru is also used. Lochru is also used. Lochana is also there. Loka, lokayati, alokayate. That will be, parasmay pada. Alokayate, actually. So, different things. For example, the samana padas that you find in Sanskrit actually provides you a better sense of making sense of this reality. Because a single word, a single idea, see, Agni, Pavakaha, I can give half a dozen examples for fire. But moment you say Pavakaha as a synonym for fire, you are actually saying something else. You are talking about the purification property of fire. That's why you are using the word Pavakaha. If you use Analaha, Analaha is also Agni. If you use the word Analaha, it has a very different meaning. See, Alam in Sanskrit means enough. Anala means not enough. And you know why fire is called Analaha? When the fire rages, you can put anything onto it, it will consume everything. That's why forest fires take months to quench. So this is the charm of this language. When you learn the language, you get a much better thinking process, much better structure of the reality that is around you, because these different words actually communicate different things. So that is another reason why Sanskrit would actually shape our perspectives and our thinking process itself.
Dhanyavada Mahadevan.
Samapayamaha va?
Astu boho, mahan santosha.
Dhanyavadaha. I am very grateful to you, sir, for having taken your time out of your busy schedule. You have been traveling enough and not being available for anything. And out of this, you have taken 1.5 hours for all of us. Thank you so much. We have learned so much from you. So, Ananta Dhanyavadaha.
When Karthik asked something, I can't say no. So therefore, I better, I be a soldier to him. So therefore, I agree. Thank you very much, Karthik. I really enjoyed the company.
And we have had people from all over, from the US to Australia, pretty much all the 4 continents have been represented here. So somebody at 1:30 in the night is still awake to listen. So
very nice.
Thank you so much.
Shubharatri, Sarvesham Shubharatri. Ye Asmin Bharata Kante Santi, Sarvesham Shubharatri. Anya Kante Ye Santi, Desham Shubha Shubhodaya Bhave Yada Kadapi Bhavatanama. Astu.
Thank you.
Dhanyavada.
Thanks to Karthik Modi for arranging this.
धन्यवादः कार्तिक महोदय.
कार्तिक महोदय धन्यवादः, बहु सम्यक् आसीत्.
धन्यवादाः सर्वेभ्यः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादाः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.